When Lester Grimm was 15, he went on his first date with a classmate named Paulina. They saw The Rules of the Game by Jean Renoir and ate at a nice Italian restaurant in the village. Lester paid with his own allowance. And when it came time for the goodnight kiss, he didn't have the nerve to do anything. Two more dates of a similar nature followed. And then, at a classmate's party, Lester found her kissing a 24-year-old club promoter. This incident, being Lester's first real romantic experience, had a deep impact on him. Subsequent girlfriends were subjected to informal inquiries concerning their fidelity, or even more disturbing, their past before him, without him.
I realize people are laughing at me because...
In college, senior year, Lester's girlfriend of 9 months, Ariana, enjoyed comparing Lester to her previous lover. Not so much obsessed as curious, that was his distinction. Lester followed Ariana's ex-boyfriend around for several nights. Lester hid in bushes, ducked behind poles, as if he were a private detective shadowing a suspect. The investigation uncovered nothing, and his girlfriend left him because he was never around. Lester blamed Paulina. But girls mature quicker than boys, he'd been told.
Hi, Scott.
And then there was Ramona.
Wait, hold on a second, okay? That's the other line. Hello? Hold on.
When Ramona had time to assess her life, she saw herself as one of those girls you read about in fairy tales, who saves wounded birds or takes in homeless people around the holidays. Of course, she wouldn't do anything of that sort, but she did have trouble saying no. And as a result, wounded friends called her, and she took on more than she could handle.
Hello? Scott. Okay. Okay. All right, bye. Hello? Who's this? Jenny.
This is the story of Lester and Ramona, and here's how it all began. Simple enough. Vince and Lucretia, recently engaged and feeling generous with love, decided to introduce two of their friends.
I think she looks more like him than he looks like her.
I'm shy. Are you shy?
They went on dates. Lester, who had more than a passing interest in film, took her to revivals. And Ramona took him to art exhibits. She was a tour guide at the Brooklyn Museum and getting her PhD in abstract expressionism at Columbia University. On their second or third date, neither one could remember exactly, they ended up at a restaurant both swore the other had recommended.
Are you sure? Because I thought you had been here.
Lester had a strong feeling about Ramona, and he made a real effort not to fall back into old patterns. He even went out with her and an ex-boyfriend, Kurt, whom she'd remained friends with. It was easier than he'd expected not to imagine the two of them in bed together. They became a team, Lester and Ramona. Ramona taught him a whistle that they'd use at parties.
And this last week, I submitted a treatment for the 9 Inch Nails video. I talked to Trent on the phone. He said to me one word, maggots, which I think is kind of...
But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go back to Brooklyn for their first date.
What do you want to be when you grow up, Lester?
I teach now. Well, starting tomorrow I teach.
What do you teach?
A lot of things. I'm a sub, actually.
Gross.
Yeah, everyone hates a sub, especially at New Utrecht High School.
Oh, I went out with a guy at New Utrecht. Mark Oceans. Weird. I went to Midwood.
I tried to write. I did write, but I didn't want to get caught up with, you know, all the politics.
You're already on your third career, wow. What would you do if I bit your face right now, suddenly?
I don't know. I guess I'd be in pain. So where's your accent, Brooklyn girl?
Oh, it disappeared.
No accent, huh? It's a shame. I hate it when people don't live up to their stereotype.
Lester soaked in Ramona's environment. Objects, styles he imagined ex-boyfriends brought in and then dropped off on their way through her life. If he disappeared today, he wondered, what evidence of his personality might he leave behind? But right then and there, he didn't want to go anywhere.
I heard this was good. I read somewhere. Somebody said this was good.
It's okay, the book. You know, I mean, but all this New York Times, he's the voice of our generation crap, you know, it's ridiculous.
He's young?
Yeah, he's our age. My age. He's 30, I think. You're what?
18.
Oh my God.
No, I'm 30. 31. Sorry. And he's our age? Wow.
I can't believe I thought you were 18. I'm so gullible. I'm also terrible at telling age. I mean, you know, he's not the voice of my generation. He's from somewhere else in America, like I want to say Michigan. Middle class, went to Cornell, and now he writes this book about young Manhattanites.
Cornell.
But, you know, I'm biased because I went out with him for a year.
More power to him.
Beer?
Thanks.
Anyway, it was my first year out of college, and he was still struggling writing his first stories, and...
Funny how people like to flirt by mentioning their past lovers, Lester thought. It actually wasn't that funny at all. But these were clever getting-to-know-you stories. Stories that weren't really about anything, but acted as time fillers so that maybe they could fall in love.
Isn't that funny? I think that's funny.
That's great. Ramona. It's a real rock and roll name. Ramona.
Yeah.
I think we all need therapy. That's my new thing.
Well,
Vince is on this therapy kick. He recommends it to everyone, even though he's not been in it himself.
he could use it.
If I had the time or the money, I'd do it.
You
He
hungry?
told my father to get therapy.
Oh.
Yeah, he took it like it was an insult. It's a compliment. It means I see your craziness and it can be helped.
My dad doesn't want any help with his craziness, and he'd rather you didn't see it either.
Vince, I'm starving. What are you
What?
getting?
Cheeseburger deluxe, kid.
I thought you said you were on a diet.
I am on a diet.
What kind of diet?
I got it on the fridge. The
Do
meals
not
I'm allowed
complain
to
to me about your body anymore, okay?
eat. All right, look, not
No,
necessarily.
I don't
This
want
is-
to hear it.
I know this is the wrong. This is not the best place.
The couples were joined by their friend, Lint.
I'm still confused. I couldn't read the subtitle over that jerk's head. Was he her father or her
Father.
He was the
I can't
father.
believe
She
you
was
won't
the
stop looking at
daughter.
her.
She's the lead in the film. She's in practically every
But
scene.
it's the
I
way
told
that
you
you
the
look
last
that
half
way.
hour.
Sweetheart,
I mean,
you're
if you want to
imagining.
see with an actress or something.
Is that so? Oh.
Yeah, and I think it's so much more erotic if they film somebody in just a bra or just underwear. I think that the suggestion of sex is much hotter than the real thing.
Really? I find I prefer to see bare breasts. I think it's much more erotic to show people as naked as possible.
Oh, really? Is that
Yes.
so? As naked as possible?
Naked as possible, and preferably in some compromising position.
Oh, my God.
Mona, what a surprise!
Hi.
Oh,
God. Do you
really?
live down here?
Yeah, no, she does. She does. Lois, Mona, Lois.
Lester.
Oh. God. Man, Stephen, I was just
Hi.
thinking about you the
That's
other
fine.
day. I can't remember in what context.
Well, so anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, I don't know. You look beautiful.
Thanks. We were just coming from the movies.
That's where we're headed. I think we're late. Is it any good?
Which one are you gonna see?
I think we just missed the French one, so we can catch the American Independent. Good?
Not one of his better ones.
Great.
Did you see,
Great. No, sounds great. Well, guess we got a boogie. So, it's good to see you, Mona.
Good to see you too.
Nice meeting you, Lester.
Oh, so weird. I didn't tell him you look good. Should I have?
Lester gritted his teeth. Ramona had a life before him.
Let's go. Come on. I think he knows it. He looks good.
Hey, Lester. Hey, Lester.
Hey, Ramona.
Tonight, let's just have the suggestion of sex. No nudity. Dashiell was special. Steven was Steven, you know? He's the only older guy I ever dated. He was very smart. No messages. And he taught Latin American literature. Puppy. He used to take me out salsa dancing, which I loved. I knew you liked to read, and you were looking at mine, and it's good. If you can get by all the trendy aspects of it, it's really good.
Thanks.
Exhilarating, a comic tour de force, powerful and original, a grand work, that a voice so mature could come from a voice so young.
What would you do if I came over to you right now and kicked you in the head?
I'd probably grab my head in agony. Ask you to leave? I don't know.
There's your place?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Well, there's a vet next door.
Oh, yikes.
Do you ever get jealous?
Ow! 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 I'm fine. Don't worry. I'm fine.
Do you get jealous?
No. No, not really. I mean, I've been susceptible to most of the other deadly sins, but not jealousy. Whew.
Mr. Arbues, the gym teacher, had an inflamed gill and was hospitalized, so Lester took over his class.
Foul!
Later that day, Lester opened an acceptance letter to the reputable University of Iowa graduate writing program that he'd been carrying around with him for days. He'd applied earlier in the year and had almost forgotten about it. He chose to hide it. He didn't want to go back to school.
Personage is a very good example of his fascination with not just the human body, but the terror and the loneliness of the human condition. The figure is almost faceless. All you can see are the eyes and the mouth.
She's right. All I can see are the eyes and the mouth.
The eyes and the mouth, except for I personally think that that's an ear, but you know, I've been told that it's not an ear, so I guess everybody else is right. But I think, doesn't it look like an ear? It looks like an ear. And,
Vince, you read this guy Dashiell Frank?
No, Lucretia did. Well, she heard it on tape. Tom Cruise reads it. She liked it. It's all about people our age.
Ramona went out with him for a year.
That pompous lucky puss?
Exactly, so we can cut the I heard the book's good, he writes about people our age bit.
Yeah, what an ass.
Gimmicky, predictable book.
Yeah. Have you read it?
No, but I know what it is, you know.
Gimmicky.
Can't be good. I won't have it.
You think people still spit in the cream pitcher?
Yeah.
Really?
No way.
You and your sheltered lives. Of course people spit in the cream pitcher. Why wouldn't they?
I'll bet my writing's more the voice of our generation than his.
You still writing?
Well, not recently, but I'm reading a lot. I write letters. I read a lot.
What are you doing?
My head itches, okay?
Why do you constantly parrot me?
You know, if
Listen,
everything centers around you.
I have to tell you guys something. Just don't judge me, okay? The other day,
And Lester relayed the events of that day. Lester happened to be walking in the village one Wednesday afternoon after his first dentist appointment in 3 years, and who should he see but Dashiell Frank, that aggravating generation-defining writer. Dashiell was recognizable from the picture on the back of his book, numerous magazine profiles, talk shows, etc. Lester watched. And Lester followed. Because he was going that way anyway, he thought. I mean, that was where the subway was anyway, he said to himself.
What kismet.
I know.
Too bad he disappeared so soon.
Oh, I'd love to follow one of Lucretia's ex-boyfriends around. Ryan.
Yeah.
It's fun just to follow people sometimes. Anyone.
Let me finish the story.
A week later, Lester found himself back in the neighborhood getting 2 teeth filled. Avoiding the dentist for 3 years will come to haunt you. Half of his face numb with Novocaine, Lester watched again as the group filed in, and 1 hour later emptied out. It must be nice to have a routine like this every Wednesday, Lester thought. That routine was something he hadn't had since he quit his job. Lester just planned to get a glimpse of an empty waiting room, but to his surprise.
Hello. Can I, help you?
A patient had just left the group. Many of the members were new, and Lester seemed very sincere.
Excuse me?
I joined Dashiell, Ramona's ex-boyfriend's group therapy.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Only for a session or two.
Listen, when I said we all needed therapy, this is not what I had in mind.
I didn't plan it. It was accidental. He just appeared in front of me. I didn't ask for it.
Well, I don't believe in God or any of those things, but in this case, I'm going to pretend that I do, so I can argue that the ex-boyfriend was placed in front of you to test you, and you failed hugely.
Hey, I just wanted to see what the guy looked like, and then I see where he's going.
And you joined his group therapy?
Well-
My God, to do what?
It's for her, to find out about what she was like, how I can do better. I'm not gonna speak.
You're not going to speak.
No.
What did you tell Dr. Polk? I mean, your background, what you wanted to work on.
Dr. Polk liked Lester immediately, and when he asked his name,
What's your name?
My name is, Vince.
Dr. Polk. Howard Polk.
Pope? When does this go?
Mondays and Wednesdays. Nice.
You said you'd go if you had the time. I couldn't give my personal information because then the writer will find out about Ramona. So I said I was you. But don't worry, I'm not gonna talk. It was just so Dr. Polk would let me in.
I'm a slight bit flabbergasted. So when you go to therapy next week, the group calls you...
Vince.
And if they ask you about your parents?
I'm not gonna speak.
If they ask you.
Marlon and Amy.
And when does it meet?
Mondays and Wednesdays, 3 to 4.
Speak.
No, don't worry, I'm not gonna speak.
No, do. Speak. Please. If you're going to do it, get some use out of it. Find a few things out for me.
No, really, I don't plan on opening my mouth.
Please. Otherwise, I forbid you to use my name. Just say a few things for me. Then at least maybe we can all learn from this experience.
Can I have your pickle?
Ramona was thrilled Lester had joined therapy. She told him she was proud of him, and then admitted up until a year previous she'd been going to an analyst twice a week. And when she asked for the address of the office in case she wanted to meet him after her work, he defensively inverted 2 of the numbers. The real address of Dr. Polk's office was 264 West 4th Street.
Sheila?
Ramona's days were as jam-packed as ever. She even began to wonder if her brain could handle all the activity. She saw a matinee with Arliss, who'd recently discovered his girlfriend was married.
Originally, I was thinking she wouldn't let me over because, she was messy. Now I'm thinking it's because she's married.
And then she worked out for an hour and a half. Then over to the museum by 3 o'clock for the first of 5 tours. At a break between tours, she wondered how therapy would go for Lester.
This room in here has one of my favorite paintings. Have you ever seen Art Crom in the cartoon kind of grotesque images that are like, well, okay, actually, it's actually down here.
Recently, Maria had been going through a particularly obsessive period and had been dominating sessions.
And if I rub it against her soft palate.
The procedure of the group was as such. Whoever's problem seemed the most immediate would start. People were then encouraged to interrupt and offer advice or censure, whichever seemed appropriate.
6'3", I could spot him. I can sense his suspicion. The instructor, he's got something going. Something else is going on. You know what I mean? He's got an agenda. And I told him, I started to tell him about my discomfort in the home, but I told him the vicinity.
As soon as Lester set foot in the room, he regretted everything. It was a crazy idea. What did he expect to learn? Twice he thought of getting up and running out. But he didn't move. He'd made a commitment to Dr. Polk and to Vince.
Any thoughts, Vince? Vince?
In a few months, I'm marrying my girlfriend, Lucretia. She initiated the idea, but I'm starting to warm up to it. I'd tell my friend Lester all about Lucretia and me, all the details. For instance, a fight Lucretia and I had, I was an hour late for a date, so she pushed our stove down the stairs. This took an hour and 45 minutes. It was a very heavy stove. Sometimes I get the feeling that Lester doesn't want me to get married. I mean, I tell him that I'm not so sure about it myself, but I think he feels I'm not quite ready for that kind of
Sounds to me like this Lester might be sort of suffocating. He obviously wants you to do the same thing he does, and that's not for you.
Well, I think his frankness is appreciated. Sure, he may not be as far along in life as he'd like, but he's very smart, and I think that good things will happen for him. I hope.
Those friendships that are based on when you were different, younger people can often be debilitating.
Well,
From what you say, he enjoys hearing you complain and you enjoy doing it, but then nothing comes of it.
Well, what are you trying
I hate seeing men getting into those situations where all they do is promote one another's insecurities. Are you going to marry Lucretia and start a life? Or are you going to stay with your friends calling each other kid?
My take on...
Isn't that what you said you called them? Kids?
Yeah, we call each other kids.
Trust your instincts. You love Lucretia, right?
Yes. I love her. I love Lucretia.
Well, that settles it. And Lester doesn't want you to be happy.
No. He does.
You just said he didn't.
Will you let me air a little uncertainty? He's my best friend. He gives me good advice.
Best.
And it's selfless. And he cares about me. How dare you suggest anything else?
I am just responding to what you say to me.
Well, read between the lines. Jeez.
Can I say what I was gonna say now?
That night, after group, Lester was preoccupied, having Dashiell in front of him, confirming that the ex was indeed an existing human being, turned Lester's thoughts to darker things. Lester could only bring himself to glance at the book, to read a little at a time. The first story, The Sensualist, was about a young writer from the Midwest who upon moving to Manhattan dated a woman from Brooklyn. Sounded familiar. Lester read a little further, and then his eyes began to drift away from the page and into his own mind. There were things distinctly Ramona-like about the character Charlotte. Brooklyn-born, the indiscriminate touching, the passion for learning. But other details. Charlotte's interest in theater. Ramona didn't follow theater as far as Lester knew. Charlotte was not talkative. Ramona said what came to her mind.
Yeah?
Hey, it's me.
So anyway, so he's going on and on. It's Corey Hall. Remember I told you the story? So this killed. I go up to him in the living room. And I say, one solitary swallow does not make a summer. I pretty much shut him up.
What?
Vince often knocks on the door of profundity and runs away.
Oh, Lester's in therapy.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Hey, wow. How about that?
Hey, Lester.
Good for you.
Are you feeling any different, Lester?
Well, it's pretty early on.
Really good, man. It's terrific. It's good for you, Lester. My man.
Don't get any ideas, Vince. We can't afford it.
No, not me. No, it's good for you. Lester, A number one.
See?
They just think you should be careful.
Lester necessarily had to censor his report to Vince.
That's it? All they say is I should be careful getting married, make sure I'm certain?
Yeah, well, you don't want to make your parents' mistakes. Just be more confident.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you're not really representing me all that well.
Believe me.
Yeah, like you're making me sound too sane.
Hey, I'm making you as sick as possible. It's tough, though. These things take time. You can't expect it to change overnight.
Yeah, well, be nice. How about the writer? Does he have attitude?
He's a prick. What do you think?
Yeah, boy, fame. Well, I guess it's nice to know he's like us. You know? Puts his pants on one leg at a time.
How many women have you slept with?
Oh, I don't know exactly.
Oh, come on. Of course you know. We used to make lists together. We just haven't talked about this in a while.
Yeah, because we're adults now. We're all supposed to just assume we've slept with about the same number of people. The adult number.
So you're up to, what, 6?
I hate this game, but not here.
This is not a game. We're having a conversation.
I need a buck.
Just give her the wallet.
Just give me the whole wallet, tight ass.
Oh, you owe me.
Come on.
All right, I'll just tally this up. How much do you owe me?
Thanks.
Please don't let's do this. 5 or 6, I don't know. I've been choosy.
I'm only at 14, and that's if you count Myrna Leahy. I think Ramona's up to close to 25. I try to keep count, you know, whenever she mentions someone new. There are 26 men out there who fucked my girlfriend.
Hey, it's not like that.
Okay, fine. There are 26 men who have made tender love to my girlfriend. I mean, being in therapy really opens up these feelings. I'm trying to figure something out. When Ramona thinks of Stephen or Dashiell or whomever, and it's only natural that she think of them, times they had, positions they did it in, she has the affair all over again.
Yeah. I think you're touching on a darker area that we're not supposed to think about, like our death. When you bring up Thanksgiving, make sure you mention my grandmother was drunk again. So, and I think this whole area was originally zoned for these sorts of clubs. And, you know, of course, there were 7 of them at the time. And they...
Okay.
Irene and I had Chinese the other night, and she'd heard me recently on National Public Radio. And the interviewer kept asking me how many of my stories were autobiographical. The guy on the radio, Matt something, asked about one of the sex scenes in the story The Sensualist. A particularly erotic scene. The protagonist does it with his girlfriend in a particularly, well, I don't want to get too specific, not here, but it's fairly experimental and it really did upset Irene. And she asked me if it was true, and I said it wasn't. It was based on my life, but I said it wasn't. Because I felt badly, I agreed to take out from this Chinese place she likes. Bad food, but good fortunes.
And what bothers you about that? It's part of your past? Something you wrote about?
All of it. I feel like I'm not a good writer, that I wrote a book of short stories, but I only had one story to tell. I don't know. I get into fistfights when I'm depressed. And I begin to feel that I'm not a good person. My relationship now with Irene, we finally hit that point where I've stopped viewing everything we do as material for my next book. Thank God. And she's the first girl I've gone out with that I haven't been unfaithful to. And I just want it to stay that way. I don't want to be unfaithful, but it's hard.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself.
It was rare that Lester ever spoke without thinking 100 times about what he was going to say, but this day was an exception.
What?
Take some responsibility for yourself. Don't blame it on your nature. How can you say, at your age, that you've never been faithful to anyone? What kind of boyfriend are you? What kind of person are you?
I'm not condoning it. That's why I'm here.
But you lament the inevitable demise of your fidelity with Irene when you can control it. You can remain faithful if you choose to. It just takes a little effort.
You don't know what it's like where I am now. Vince, I don't know where you are, but...
Don't patronize me. Fist fights. You're not Hemingway or Norman Mailer. You say you've never been faithful? Well, that goes back to before your success, back when you were just some jackoff who wanted to be a writer. Oh. So don't talk down to me. Look back into your past, Dashiell. Your past girlfriends, and find out what happened to you. Who were the ones that mattered? Who were they?
All right, Vince, Dashiell, let's get back to that radio interview. Dashiell?
It was a pledge drive. The host asked me what was next.
Okay, Senor Munoz has hepatitis, so I'm going to be helping you review for your midterm. This will include all irregular verbs up to saber. Yes.
Me da el pase, por favor, tengo que ir al baño.
Okay, your name is...
Me llamo Nat.
Your name is Nat. Okay, Nat, I'm going to ask you to repeat that in English.
Can I have the pass? I need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay, fine. Anyone else? All right, if you have any questions, I'm going to ask you to ask them in English, because Mr. Grimm doesn't speak Spanish. Not a lick.
Hello?
Hi, it's me, Lester.
I know who he is.
I just had maybe the worst subbing experience of my life. You know, I speak not a word of Spanish.
Lester, I can't talk because I got to give a preview tour of the Miro show.
Oh.
I'll call you later.
Fine, you want to have dinner?
Well, I don't know. I just want to take this night, you know.
Uh-huh.
No, I mean, I really do. I'm like that. This isn't an excuse. Honest.
Okay, well, how about tomorrow night?
Sure. Oh, I'm busy. I got to go to dinner with these people from work. And a friend of mine, Farley.
Don't know him.
Farley is, well, I don't know. He's trying to kick heroin, and I said I'd sit with him.
X?
No, not Farley.
Okay, well, look, why don't you just give me a call when you're free?
Hey, Lester.
Mm-hmm.
I really do have plans. And I really do just want a night by myself. I mean, we don't know each other that well yet. I mean, we haven't had one of those things that we're having right now, so you might think I'm just making this up. Yeah?
Yeah. I believe you.
Do you?
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love
Every time he picked up Dashiell's book, he found himself unable to penetrate it, reading the same sentence over and over again. Moreover, Lester had forgotten what he did with his time before he met Ramona.
Hi, it's Ramona. Leave a message. Thanks. Lester?
Hey. Oh. I'm sorry. I called. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I called.
I was in the shower.
Oh, that must have been. Whew. That must have been it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You all right?
Yeah, I was just worried.
Just showering.
I also called about a half hour ago.
Yeah?
Where were you then?
A half hour ago? I don't know.
It's just because of the phone. There was no answer.
Oh, I went out for milk. I got milk. For coffee.
Oh, that must have been it. Fine. It was milk.
Are you all right?
Yes. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Who was that?
I think I'm gonna have to.
The next day, Lester told Vince he was leaving group.
Lester, we haven't finished my analysis. What about me?
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were getting so much out of it.
Well, I felt like we were both making some headway.
I don't want the responsibility. I just wanted to learn more about Ramona. And now I'm dealing with you and Lucretia and other people in the group. I feel it tugging at a side of me that may not be so healthy.
Jesus, Lester, I'm not prepared to stop. I mean, I am terrified of ending it. I'll let you in on a little secret. I know I appear as if I have it all together. The law firm, the fiancé, $75 haircut. But I'm fucked up. I'm really fucked up. I am just teetering on the precipice, and you're gonna just push me right over. Just one more session, one more week, 2 more. Just 2 more weeks.
That's 4 more.
But 4 more?
I don't know.
Oh, man. What am I gonna do now?
I don't know. You get your own therapy?
Fuck you, my own therapy. You started this. You can't just terminate it.
Okay. 2 more, but that's it.
Great.
Lester liked fighting with Dashiell. That felt good. Lester felt the writer was obviously pompous, self-centered, and immature. And there was no mention of Ramona. Not the real Ramona, anyway. Just characters from the stories in Dashiell's book. Lester wondered, was Ramona the woman Dashiell described?
The other night, feeling guilty, I told Irene that the character in my book, Charlotte, the one who takes part in the erotic sex scene, was based on an actual girlfriend of mine.
You told the truth.
Charlotte was a girl I dated in New York after college. The real Charlotte, God, my memory is terrible. The real Charlotte was a bit of a tart.
A what?
What a Philip Roth character might call a chippy. She had a number of lovers for a woman her age, at least in my experience. In college, she dated a lot of those younger teachers that everybody had crushes on. The guys wanted to be, the girls wanted to fuck. One history teacher in particular. Used to bother me a lot then. Now I am one of those guys.
I just wanted to say
Please shut up.
It's still a little embarrassing for me to write like that. I spent a lot of time with the words. It's hard to avoid cliches with sex. I mean, I'd made love to her, so I knew her habits, her sounds. I think about her a lot. Writing about her was a way to have her again.
How's therapy been? You know, what are you working through? Your parents' divorce? Or your career? Me?
Yeah, you know.
Which?
All of those things. You know. I don't know. How, when my parents divorced, I began to realize that they had real lives. How I'd somehow idealized them up until then. But that's okay and natural. But he says that if I choose to go back to writing while I teach, that I'll probably do very well. But even though I'm stalled a little now, that I'll get back on track and probably be very successful. And you and me.
Do they like me?
Oh, yeah, very much. But we've talked about how difficult it is for a young relationship when you really care about each other but don't know enough about yourselves yet, you know? Those kinds of things. I don't know, I've just started.
Oh, hey, I've been meaning to ask you, do you like that book?
Don Quixote?
No. The one that I gave you. Post Euphoria, Dashiell's book. The first story in particular.
The first one, it's good. I'm not done with it yet. I'm reading it out of order.
I'm interested to know what you think.
Yeah?
Lester continued on past the next 2 sessions, and routine settled in. It seemed to him that on the road to getting better, the group all began to look a little worse. Maria, who was convinced she and her family would die after an exterminator sprayed her apartment with a carcinogen.
Without my consent, I don't know where that is in the lease.
Trey, who was going through his 4th divorce at 36.
Gained so much weight, I still can't get my wedding ring off.
And Jocelyn, who came after she'd been having an affair with her other therapist, and then feeling he'd cured her, left after a month, and so on.
The reason I was afraid to fly was that I was afraid of erections because they both went up mysteriously.
Each problem was worked on diligently by the group. They all developed a mutual respect for one another. Lester got used to sitting in the same seat. And as the group, instigated by Dashiell, tore poor Vince's life to bits, Lester defended his friend.
You're just jealous. I have good friends. What's so unhealthy about that? And I think Coke does vary per can.
But more importantly, Lester attacked Dashiell.
Oh, you are so wrong, so full of yourself. Have you ever thought about this, Dashiell?
How'd the Met interview go?
Good, I think, good.
Imagine working at the Metropolitan Museum.
I know. I don't know, though. You know, it's more au courant and all that, but I love Brooklyn. I would feel guilty like I'm cheating on my museum. No, but I would.
Vince said the most insightful thing the other day about us. I wish I could remember what it was. It happened right after we'd had this fight about lint.
Go back to 34. What was on that?
Softcore.
Maybe we should turn in soon, Vince.
Hello, what's this? Oh, this movie sucks. By the third time I saw it, I was like, I can't believe how much I don't like this movie.
Well, I haven't seen it. Hold on.
It's terrible.
But then the next day, he apologized and he took me out to dinner and we were just together. He's gotten so introspective lately. I mean, I think he's really trying to change, which I think is good. I mean, you can only find incompetence endearing for so long.
Yeah. Group should be underway. To think I'm probably being talked about right now. My nose should be itchy.
So you're saying that I'm choosing between Lester and Lucretia?
I'm saying Lester might have an ulterior motive. Lucretia just wants to get married. Who knows about Lester?
God, I'd hate to be talked about in front of all those people. Can you imagine our sex life? For that, I am glad that Vince is not in group. And besides, you know, I kind of be a bit scared that he might change, you know, in a bad way. I don't know. Want to leave me or something?
How are things with Irene?
She's fine. It's just that recently I have started to lose interest. I've started thinking about ex-girlfriends, particularly before the book.
Like who?
I can't remember their names. I don't dwell, Vince. Lauren, Abigail, Carol, Ramona, Victoria, another Lauren.
It's funny, it's like every time something happens to a temple group, it's not gonna be good.
Hey, Vince. You want to get a drink?
He did say that he would meet me after group. You know, I love meeting for coffee. Aww. I do. I mean, would you think back at Midwood or Sheep said that we'd be meeting for coffee?
Well, we drank coffee then, too. I mean, you make it sound like we were savages.
Yeah, I know, but this is so adult and glitzy. I love it. I do.
Thank you. So, you writing another book?
Yeah, I'm writing. I was given a huge advance for the next one, a novel. I've never seen so much money. And I've never written a novel. I keep thinking this one has to be that much better because I'm getting so much more for it.
You're right. Probably does. Just write would be my advice.
We're just having conversation. I don't need your advice.
Fine. I'm just gonna finish my drink.
Listen, Vince, I wanted to say to you.
What?
That I appreciate what you do for me in there. I find most of the group is afraid to speak their minds. I wish Dr. Polk would encourage more of that. Since you've joined, I feel much better. I like our little battles. I hope you do too.
Yes. I do. Oh, I don't smoke. I've got the patch.
I didn't start till college. It's a disgusting habit. I know it's not a particularly original insight, but it is disgusting. Look, I've got this little yellow stain on this.
Oh, yeah.
this, whatever you call this, above the lip.
Little yellow mark.
2 more Jameson. Neat. What I love about these babies is you get the cigar without the commitment. Beckett, smoke these. You know what I saw the other night, which I'd never seen before?
What?
Man who shot Liberty Valance.
John Ford. Good?
It is. Very. I wish I were a cowboy. You know what I just thought?
What?
Irene's father is so bald.
Yeah?
Well, and baldness runs on the mother's side, so our children are doomed to baldness.
Hope you have girls.
Bald girls. Could happen. What's Lucretia's father like? Bald?
I don't know.
Is he? Bald?
Oh, you'd like him to be, wouldn't you?
Oh, no. See, that is your other friends who like company in their misery. I would be perfectly happy to hear that your children would have full heads of hair. Come on. Is he bald?
Well, sort of. I mean, he has hair on the sides.
Bald.
If you mean bald in that it's just sort of skin on the head, yes.
Bald. Lester's right. Don't marry Lucretia. Then my dad died when I was in college. I was 21. It's funny, 10 years later, I still don't feel like the kind of guy to have a dead father. How about you? You know, I wish I could use words like chick and doll and sound legit. I always envy guys who can deliver that kind of speak to women without sounding stupid or contrived. I can write it, I just can't say it.
Subway?
No, I'll catch a taxi. Good night.
Good night. I'm so sorry. I completely forgot.
Well, I waited.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, Lester. Don't make plans if you can't keep them.
I know. It's entirely my fault. I'm sorry. Hello?
Lester, Vince, what did we learn today?
I can't talk right now.
No, just give me a little nugget.
I'll talk to you later.
Which one of my sick friends was that?
That was Vince.
Oh, one of your sick friends. Where the hell were you?
Well, it was a fairly intense session. My mind wandered, so I went for a walk, daydreamed, saw The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance at Cinema Village.
A good liar had once told Lester that detail was important in the best fibs. But Lester wasn't a good liar. He was a truly bad liar, and Lester claimed to see a movie he had always meant to see, but had never seen before.
Oh, how was it? I hear that was great.
Yes, it is, yeah, you heard right.
Did you like it?
For a guy who saw a lot of movies, he had also managed to pick a blind spot, one of the few black and white John Ford films he knew little to nothing about.
It's actually John Wayne that shoots Liberty Valance, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's presented as Jimmy Stewart, but then it's really John Wayne.
Yeah, it's like that.
Mm. Is it in color or black and white?
What?
The film. Is it in color or black and white?
Black and white or color? Color.
Oh. Must have been pretty. Good print. Whoa. Sorry.
Yes, good print.
Lester didn't like lying like that, but being in Dashiell's presence excited him. Hearing Dashiell's problems, commenting on Dashiell's life. He felt closer than ever to Ramona. Making love to Ramona that night, Lester felt their bodies converge. He imagined their skin overlapped. He felt he knew her. Although she could on occasion be read as clumsy or careless, Ramona did pride herself on being rational and unsuperstitious. But lately she developed odd obsessions. If she didn't make it across the street before the walk sign started blinking "Don't walk," she wouldn't get an A on her last essay. If she saw more than 8 pigeons on the way to the subway, she wouldn't get a raise at work. If she finished her lecture in under 42 minutes, it'd be a good day. If it went over, it meant the subway might be crowded, or she'd have a fight with Lester. All this frustrated Ramona, who generally considered herself level-headed.
Ah, look at the time. Come on, hurry, let's go.
It's nice to see you.
You too.
Oh, this is Irene.
Hello. I have a jacket like that.
Yeah, I know. I liked yours, so I bought one. Vince, I'm sorry Lucretia couldn't make it.
Yeah, so is she.
Well, next time. We're having the good stuff tonight. Irene, Vince here has been a big help to me lately.
You have been, Vince. He talks about you all the time.
I'm looking forward to this drink all day. Been blocked today. All week, actually. It's funny, I'm starting to feel post-euphoria was all I knew. Hey, Irene, why don't you tell that story about how your family had bad clams and your brother Philip threw up all over the restaurant?
How can I tell him? You just told him. That's the story. Philip had some bad clams and threw up. So, Vince, did Dashiell turn you on to Scotch? Too? He makes me drink it. I hate it. I prefer vodka and cranberry. I could never go to therapy. I don't like to talk about myself.
Irene's writing an essay about her stutter, her disfluency.
My disfluency.
Among other things, it's about how different people react. You're good, Vince. You just wait.
Other people finish my sentences.
It's a nice essay. It's funny, you got me thinking about all those people I knew in college in those first years out. I haven't thought about some of them in some time.
I know. I'm losing my memory, too. I'm convinced of it. Irene is great.
That girl, Charlotte, one in the book, we went out at such a strange time. The feelings you feel are so strong, but I don't know how real they are. And who knows if those feelings are real when you're that age? Just out on your own.
Probably not.
You know, I'm so glad you called me on that line. I've never dated a girl I didn't cheat on. What a sad existence.
Oh, don't worry about it. Irene is great.
Yeah, but Ramona. Hey, Vince. I'm sure Lester's all right. Yeah. Good friends are important. Thanks for coming.
Lester could actually feel the world spinning out of control.
Intellectually, I have to pee.
Well, go then.
Well, I don't actually have to. I just feel that I should.
Ah. Hey, Lester. Can I tell you something?
Hey, Ramona. Yes?
I'm not sure you're gonna like it.
Well, I guess I still want to hear it. I just had to come by.
And Ramona related the events of that already controversial earlier night.
I'm lying already, man. I've been outside for half an hour. I don't know what I'm going nuts.
Stephen had stopped by uninvited. He'd been upset. His and Ramona's breakup had not been what he thought it would be.
I've been thinking about you ever since then.
They talked, small talk, for a while, and then he made a pass at her. At first she responded. It felt comfortable. It was a kiss she knew well. But then she thought again. She was seeing Lester.
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Then she kissed him again.
We decided it was over. I mean, I decided for both of us. I liked you now.
No.
I mean, you have to understand, I didn't plan to see him. He just stopped by. I mean, we had a relationship before. It had nothing to do with you.
I understand.
No, you don't. You should.
No.
But you sort of shouldn't. I mean, I don't know if I would condone it. I mean, I don't want it to mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
I'm not angry.
But I could understand if you were angry from a perfectly normal, paranoid, semi-sick, irrationally jealous point of view. And I hid it from you as well, which could make it worse.
Of course, I would have preferred to have heard about it earlier, or for it never to have ever to have happened. But it's not such a big deal.
But you have to understand, I didn't know what was going to happen between us. For all I know, we could have been a short thing. It was nothing. And we didn't do it. Stephen and I didn't do it then. I mean, we had done it before, but not that night.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do it.
And we didn't have any condoms.
Well, you could have got them when you when you went out for the milk.
But the thing is I didn't go out for milk. I had milk. I had unplugged the phone. But you have to understand, this is from another time. I was just clearing up business from before you.
Screen.
Lester?
No, listen, I understand. Before me, we weren't us yet.
Lester, it's Vince. Just wondering if there's anything you want to tell me. Just checking in. Okay, just call me. Hello, Ramona. Lucretia says hi.
Hey, maybe it's something you can talk about in therapy.
Yeah.
Ramona felt good about confessing. The only thing she didn't mention was that a few days after he'd stopped by, Stephen showed up again at the museum. Ramona, falling further prey to superstition, the rules her own, found herself trying to make it from gallery room 7 to gallery room 9 in under 25 seconds. If she made it, she'd get her PhD before she was 33. If she didn't, she wouldn't finish until close to 40. The catch was she couldn't run, and she couldn't step on the black lines.
Whoa! Yikes!
Oh.
Jesus, Stephen!
Yeah. Wow, I forgot you work here.
And they raced through the pleasantries while Ramona caught her breath. And then Stephen asked,
What do you think of the goatee? No, oh, no, yeah, I feel stupid with it. Lois suggested I do it, and I'm convinced now that she was just trying to make me unattractive to the rest of the world so I wouldn't go anywhere.
But Stephen didn't give up. The next day, he met Ramona again at work and offered to walk her home. Then he made his move.
Hey,
But Ramona was committed to seeing things through with Lester.
we broke up. I'm happy about that.
Meanwhile, Vince and Lucretia were having the time of their lives. Dancing, fancy restaurants, and presents twice a week. and no lint. Lucretia was deeply in love, and Vince felt he was becoming an adult.
Lucretia did the cutest thing the other day. God, I wish I could remember what it was.
Yeah, I mentioned how you have trouble finishing things, and they said...
What are you talking about? I don't have that problem.
Well, I guess that's my problem.
You're telling your problems too?
Yeah, well, maybe I sneak one in every now and then. I don't know. I've combined both our lives at this point, but I doubt it affects the diagnosis.
Well, be careful. You know, you mutate information like that, we'll both turn into idiots.
Hey, I could use a little help too, you know.
Boy, I've been thinking. One of us has to break this to Millie. We gotta stop with the same orders every time. If I eat another cheeseburger.
How about another hit, sweetheart?
Yes, thank you, Millie.
Coffee's good today. What about you, darling?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
What is this?
I just feel it's time to stop. Change our orders, even our diner. At least our booth.
What the hell are you talking about?
Just wasn't making me feel good anymore. The same thing, drinking coffee. I always feel bad worked, you know? If I'm not shaking, it's like I'm about to have a heart attack all the time.
You don't like that feeling?
I'm getting this from you. This is your advice to me. I mean, recently, Lucretia, we talk about the issues at hand. We don't avoid things, but we attack them head on.
That's great.
And sex? Oh, baby. Well, sex is the best it's ever been. I just feel all this should bleed over into my eating life. I just find it very helpful, Lester. I mean, it's great. I thought I was stuck with this Vince, but I'm not. And I'm liking the new Vince. That's a new thing for the new Vince.
Well, don't marry Lucretia if you don't want to have bald kids.
Yeah. What?
What happened in therapy today?
You know, I was saying in therapy that I didn't really have sex that much in college.
Me neither.
Really? You didn't just play around, you know, just curious, just learning about sex?
No.
Just playing around? Attractive students? Attractive teachers?
Nope. In college, it was just Donald, Sandro, Max and Arlo, and Jeff. And then after college, Art, Dashiell, Mikey, Rick, you know.
Whoa, wait a second. Who's Mikey? Some 12-year-old?
Oh, just some guy. I've mentioned him to you, I'm sure.
No, we went through our lovers. You never had a Mikey.
I forgot. Or I left it out accidentally. Maybe we didn't do it. I don't remember. Maybe we just did, like, you know, other stuff. Everything but.
Mikey.
Didn't mean anything. Gotta hang up.
Well, are there any more?
Don't worry. I didn't sleep with a million people.
Well, that's a huge relief. We fooled around pretty quick. We slept together on the first date.
Uh-huh.
You were awful trusting. I mean, for all you knew, I could have been some maniac.
I used a condom.
That's not what I mean. You could have waited. You could have let me wait.
What?
Why were you so quick to make love to me?
I liked you.
So you hop in the sack with everyone you like?
No. What? Are you using my behavior with you against me?
I'm just saying that I think you moved a little fast with me.
I don't believe you.
I'm just saying.
Are you jealous of yourself?
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it.
Lester must have been setting some kind of personal record, taking weeks to read a 45-page short story. Tonight, however, he came to the end of not only the story, but the relationship Dashiell depicted. In the last paragraph, Dashiell quoted from Gustave Flaubert's The Sentimental Education. In every parting there comes a moment when the beloved is already gone from us.
Gentle.
And you were saying, Leo?
So initially she lied and said the guy wasn't there, but it turns out that she'd invited her ex-boyfriend over behind my back. And therein is the lie that it sets a tone for the entire relationship. You're always playing catch up.
A week earlier, Lester had asked Vince for a favor.
Because I have to leave the analysis, and now you can come in and just change over to my problems. I mean, to Vince's problems, to your problems.
Become myself.
Right, right. See, that way I can get out, and you can still benefit. So you come in, help me out a little bit, and then slowly change over to your real life. I mean, you'll have to use different names and make up some stuff, but it'll work. I mean, really, there are just a few problems out there anyway. You're bound to have most of them. We must share a lot of them. Come on, what do you say? Be me.
And then she lied. I mean, it was early in our relationship. She says we weren't us then, but I don't know. To me, it suggests a lack of commitment up front. And that is the starting point. That is the springboard into the relationship. I care less now. And when she comes round to wondering about why I...
And so, as agreed upon, Vince became Lester, named Leo, while Lester remained Vince. But why Vince spoke with an English accent, Lester couldn't even begin to imagine.
And I feel also, now, if I say to her, do you smell that? And, oh yeah, I smell it. Does she? I don't know, because you lied before. Maybe you don't smell this now. Maybe...
Leo?
Yeah?
Do you think she still cares about the boyfriend?
Do I, think she cares? Do I don't know. What do you think?
How do I know? I don't know her.
Well, I guess in my deepest, darkest thoughts, she does. Maybe.
You mentioned you'd been jealous in the past, Leo. Why don't you talk about that?
This has been a pattern. When I was 15, I caught my first girlfriend making out with a club promoter. And then later on in college, I dated this girl, and I became quite obsessed with the notion of her ex-boyfriend than the reality of her ex-boyfriend. I trailed him around like a detective trailing a subject. I can't believe you went out with this guy. And you know what kind of reflection that is on me? And she ended up dumping me because I wasn't around much. Of course, I was always with her ex-boyfriend. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, I guess. I mean, I regret nothing. It just seems I always get to this point in relationships where my jealousy keeps them from moving on past a certain point. I'm getting older. I'd like to...
Seems perfectly normal to me. Your girlfriend now?
Lisa Papadimitriou.
Lisa was probably insecure about your feelings at such a premature time in your relationship. It protects her, keeps her from getting too involved. She hasn't seen this guy since the night you ran over to her house, has she?
I don't know. What do you think?
No, I doubt it.
Yeah, me too.
Well, so don't worry then. You're a jealous guy. We all get that way. You're just expressing it more deeply.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. That's great. And how are things with Lester, Vince?
Good.
Is he still pushing you away from the marriage?
No. He's better about that.
Have you felt more aware of his ulterior motives?
So all this time, they've been telling me not to hang out with you.
No, they've been telling me not to hang out with me.
You hid that from me. That's a valuable part of my therapy, and you hid it from me. Now, I don't know what to do. I'm probably half a diagnosis.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
half a man.
Now, you and Lucretia are getting along so well.
It was probably an illusion. We're living a lie.
Don't be so dramatic.
You can't mess with these things. It's like a chromosomal makeup. And you were hurtful and mean in therapy.
I was. And why in God's name were you speaking with a British accent?
I don't know. He feels British to me. Leo feels British.
Leo feels British? Leo's supposed to be me.
Look, it's a choice I made and I stick by it. If you're unhappy with it, I'll try something else next session.
Well, you can't very well change it now, can you?
No, I suppose that'd be confusing.
All right, that's it. It's over. Therapy is over. We're terminating our analysis. Where are you going?
The new Vince doesn't feel like being with you suddenly.
The next session, Ramona thought she'd surprise Lester after therapy. In her haste, she actually recalled the address incorrectly and reinverted the digits 4 and 6, and went to 264 West 4th Street, which in fact was the right address. Confused and suspicious, that evening, Ramona and Lucretia took in a show of The Black and White, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. And then they waited for their boyfriends. But until they had further proof of what exactly was going on, they swore each other to secrecy.
I don't know. At least make my parents understand.
Meet your parents one day.
Lester?
Yeah?
The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance is in black and white.
Yeah?
You said it was in glorious color.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. So, what's your point?
Are you having an affair?
What? What are you talking about?
Yes or no?
No, of course not.
Well, I don't know. You're preoccupied. The movie's in color. We don't see as much of one another. We haven't made love in over a week, I think.
I'm absolutely not having an affair. Are you?
No.
And I finally got the nerve to get the cabaret act up and going. I think it'll be well received.
Vince, anything you'd like to talk about?
No, I'm good today. Lucretia and I had a big talk. I feel fine.
Well, feel free to pipe in at any time. Leo?
No, I'm fine. Thanks.
Dashiell?
4 days ago, I had to make some calls. Business, my agent, my editor, a producer who wants to option The Sensualist. Suddenly, I found myself looking up a name in the phone book. Ramona Ray, my ex. She was listed. I let the phone ring once, twice, my finger on the hang-up button, praying, of course, she doesn't have that caller ID. And then I hear this voice, hello? I listened, I just sat there. Hello? She repeated. Hello? I finally hung up. It's childish, I know, but a lot of what we talked about raced through my head. Things I've been trying to write, friendships I've formed recently. Vince, Leo, I think that we have all been getting better together, figuring out our relationships. And I don't generally believe in luck or fate, but one day after therapy, when I came out of the building, and there was Ramona. She was with a friend who I guess I'd met a few years ago when we were together. I was in shock because I'd been thinking so much of her lately, and she suddenly materialized in front of me. She came towards me, and I asked her to take a walk with me. We talked for a while. We had coffee. It was a little awkward, yes, but it was so good to see her. She's got this great job at the Brooklyn Museum, so she was in great spirits. She had a whole other art degree when I knew her. Now she has like 4, and her accent, her adorable Brooklyn accent that she'd been trying to lose has turned into something so elegant, so un-Brooklyn. We talked about her wanting to get out. She wants to move to Manhattan, about the film she wants to make about Brooklyn. It was great to focus only on her. It was all about me years before. I don't know. I loved flirting with her again. Our relationship had turned so sour, and to wonder again, to imagine her naked, to re-fall in love was such an experience. Better than if we'd never met. For the first time, I understood why people would remarry.
And did she seem to feel the same way for you?
I don't know. She liked talking to me, and afterwards, when we made love, I knew she wanted to make love to me.
Oh,
That much I do know.
what a great New York story.
It's like a goddamn fantasy.
I'm gonna do something.
Where's he going?
Dashiell, you mentioned another girl with Ramona.
Yes.
It's great. Fine. It's just checking.
Who are you waiting for?
He lied to me.
You slept with him.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just glad your stories are straight.
Vince.
Isn't that what you wanted?
Vince!
Yeah.
Vince, what are you doing?
I'm in therapy.
What?
Vince,
Why are you British?
Ramona. Vince, I need to talk to you.
And why is he calling Lester Vince?
Because that's the name Lester goes by in our group therapy.
Hey, Lester,
Ramona.
you lied to me about almost everything that exists between us.
Vince.
Yeah.
You made this happen.
Ramona.
Vince, you know Ramona?
I think
You're
we all have
talking
our different
to
ways of
Ramona.
ruining things.
And this one
Lester.
here knows
Yes.
I
Leo.
can't believe you, Vince.
Ramona, you know Lester.
I just wish you could be as jealous of me as I am of you.
We love differently, Lester.
And you both know each other.
She's my girlfriend, Dash.
I can't believe this.
I'm sorry, Dr. Pope.
And that's my fiance, Vince.
Oh, God.
So you're Vince.
I'm Leo?
No, you're Vince now.
Okay, I'm Vince.
I knew no one who sounded like that could possibly be British. So you're Vince. You're the one getting married. You're the one who wishes his fiancée be more open about different sexual positions.
Oh, Vince.
Ramona. Shut up for a minute.
How could you do this to me?
Ramona, did you know
Vince,
that
you
this...
suck.
Listen,
You
I
did.
know this all.
When we were together, you did.
Insane.
Perhaps we should all go back inside.
You son of a bitch.
Jeez.
She's my girlfriend.
Oh, my goodness.
Ow! I've never hit anyone before.
It's only my second.
I'm sorry.
The sad thing, Lester thought, that in all this he'd just become what he detested most, Ramona's ex-boyfriend.
Many love before us, I know that we are not new in city and in forest. They smiled like me and you, but
Several months later, at the University of Iowa.
Lester! Lester!
Yeah?
We just wanted to tell you that we think that your play is really terrific. It was really nicely done.
Jesus was so involved. I mean, the guy follows his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, and he joins his group therapy. I mean, it was wild, you know?
Yeah, then the ex-boyfriend turns out to be a killer.
Yeah, that was
I
great.
was really blown away by it.
Thank you.
No offense, but it was much better than your other play, the one about the 3 middle-aged women who were driving cross country. They were alcoholics.
Yeah, that was a little misguided.
Well, we'll see you.
Yeah, great work, man.
Thank you.
Lester loved school. He lived alone in a studio apartment in Iowa, without a TV, I might add, and wrote. Lester was invited to New York for a wedding, and his mind fell back on older times. He didn't know why, but he began to search his poor memory in an attempt to have it over again.
I do a pretty good Muppet walk.
I loved you in the morning, our kisses deep and warm, your head on the pillow like a sleepy golden storm. Yes, many love before us, I know that we are not new in city and in forest, they smiled like me and you.
When Ramona had decided to go back into therapy, she hesitated calling Dr. Polk. He had been, after all, Lester's psychiatrist. But as time progressed, she hadn't met anyone she liked, and Dr. Polk's reputation was quite impressive. They met, and the talks were valuable. And when it got right down to it, he really knew nothing about the real Lester.
Oh, so, hey, I crossed the street all last week, and it didn't matter how many pigeons were around me or if the light was blinking when I got to the other side of the street.
Well, as long as you cross on the green.
Oh, yeah, of course. On the green. On the green.
Foundation of a civilized nation. Now, in keeping with the personalized nature of this service, Vince and Lucretia have written their own vows.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Lucretia, as we embark on what will hopefully be a lifelong journey together, I find myself asking myself, what is a marriage? Webster's defines marriage very succinctly, very clinically, and told me nothing I didn't already know. Friends and family all echoed similar themes, and yet, still, I found no enlightenment. And then it hit me. True love defies definition. It is a mystery. Tree may adequately name this forest staple, but says nothing of its complexities. Thusly, I take your hand, and together we step together into a void, a darkness that we will illuminate with our hearts and create our own definition, one that Mr. Webster could never conceive of. I believe and know it was fated that we meet, and if it wasn't at the Milo O'Shea's St. Patty's Day do, it would have been in some other bar. Sorry, Mom. As Roger Daltrey says, 1 and 1 don't make 2, 1 and 1 make 1. Thank you, Lynn. Oh, and with you, Luke, 1 isn't the loneliest number. Thank you, Lester. I'm sorry I botched that. Lucretia, thanks for the Jell-O shots those 8 years ago. Thanks for that evening 8 years ago. Thanks for accepting my proposal 4 years ago. And thanks for going through with marrying me today. I am eternally grateful and terminally smitten. Love, Vince.
Vince, I love you, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and I intend to.
All right.
And now you may kiss the bride.
How's LA?
It's good. How's Iowa?
Good. Yeah, I read that short story of yours in the New Yorker. It was great. Really touching. My classmates are jealous I know you. They respect you a lot.
Thank you.
Now, I finally finished your book.
Yeah? What'd you think?
I liked it. I thought the last story was a little long at the end. I think you were a help to Vince. I think the marriage will benefit from your help.
I still expected to see you up there getting married.
Yeah, well.
No, I quit.
When you break up with someone, you get that dramatic feeling like that was it. I'm never gonna see that person again in my life. Then you run into him at a wedding.
And it ruins the drama.
It's like that in the beginning, too. It's not just a kiss and love begins. I guess we had to figure out our own stories, too.
I guess we did.
Hey, how does your story end, Lester? I just got used to being without you.
I know. It took me a while to stop thinking of myself as your boyfriend. And even longer to stop thinking of myself as your ex-boyfriend. Just to stop thinking of myself in reference to you.
She thinks it'll never work out. We're different now. He thinks I messed this up once, who thinks I'll be better this time. And yet, with all this fatalism floating around in their brains, they couldn't move away from each other.
Who was that guy over there that you were talking to?
began to lose control. I began to lose control. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I was feeling insecure. You might not love me anymore. I was shivering inside. I was shivering inside. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I was trying to catch your eye. Thought that you were trying to hide. I was swallowing my pain. I was swallowing my pain. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I'm just a jealous guy. I'm just a jealous guy.
I'm not playing another game. Just
That's
pack
fine.
them up.
It's sooner
Take
than
them.
cancels with them.
I'm not bringing them again either. This is just like
I don't ask you to bring them.
Just like when we used to play
You
D&D.
bring them out, you're so excited. You're probably here hours earlier getting them ready. Oh, I'm gonna put the six in, six in.
Okay. You still have my 20-sided dice, too.
That's from, we were 12.
I would like it back.
I don't know where it is.
We were 12, we were 15, we were 32. What difference does it make?
There we go. Please.
Time has
Translate.
No
I need.
Time has no meaning. Well, we need a
Well,
subtitles.
thank you. That's helpful. Time has no meaning, so I
That
guess I
needs
better find it.
constant subtitles, like the operas, so we know what's really being said.
That's good at the opera. I saw Traviata, Lucretia.
Really?
Yeah.
You've become so,
I went that one time. Really?
You've lost weight in your face.
Oh,
The jowls.
yeah.
And the
Is it
jowls.
dieting?
The jowls.
You've lost weight in
to
your
say I had
jowls.
jowls implies that I was heavy.
Well,
Well,
yes.
there was that period
Yes.
in your mid to late 20s when you porked out.
Yeah.
You should do this when you go to sleep.
I do that.